We're now entering just the final phase of today, and we're going to have a greeting from our ambassadors on either side of the Atlantic. You see we got Ambassador Eamon McKee online as well. So, and then we're going to have an interesting panel discussion with young people from both sides of the Atlantic. And then we're going to have a trad session, a trad off we're going to call it. We're going to have a piece of traditional music from here, and then Hearts Content is going to respond with traditional music from Hearts Content. And that'll close out our evening until we get to dinner. So with that, I'll hand over to Nancy and we can get started.
Thanks very much, Leonard, distinguished guests, Ambassador Cronin, my dear colleague, Ambassador and dear friend, Ambassador Eamon McKee, sitting in Ottawa, and to all of you here in the community of Valentia and in the community of my fellow citizens in Hearts Content. So delighted to return to your beautiful island in beautiful County Kerry for the second time in the past year. Thank you for this invitation to you, Leonard, and to all the members of the Foundation and the community to be a part of this 6th Valentia lecture series on globalization. We've just had some great discussions earlier on this afternoon, and I know that this afternoon, the rest of the afternoon, the evening is going to be fantastic. And I think what we talked about was that this theme of globalization remains so highly relevant, even contesting what does that term mean in today's. And I think we all agreed that we could talk about what it meant for the youth, but it would be good to hear what you have to say, and so we're looking forward to that. But if we just think about how the world has changed since the 5th event that we had in October, I don't think we could have imagined what our world would look like and how much things have changed and how much Europe has changed in just these few short months. So like all of you, I was absolutely thrilled to hear the announcement yesterday by Ministers Noonan and O'Brien to add 3 sites to the tentative list for the World Heritage, including, of course, the 2 communities of Valentia and Hearts Content. Tied together all those years ago by a 3,000-kilometer cable, will now work together with partners for a submission to UNESCO. So congratulations to everyone who's here in this room, who have worked so hard to get to this milestone, and those who are not here in this room. And congratulations to those in Hearts Content. And as was mentioned earlier, Canada, we had this on the tentative list earlier. And so we're at a really important milestone. And so this unique common history that changed global communications now presents really tremendous opportunities to further showcase these 2 remote Atlantic communities, their past, their present, and their sustainable futures. And we were talking about that on the panel earlier today. And what I'm really struck by, and I'll just sort of say this as I close, is how these efforts have catalyzed the capturing of so many stories of individuals and of communities, and just hearing tonight about more interest in continuing to do that. So while we celebrate, I think we also will do what Canadian and now Trinity professor, and I mentioned him earlier, Chris Marash, has called an ethical remembrance of the conditions of the communities at the time and recalling what was happening in those communities as the story was unfolding. And I really commend his work and the work of the other writings, and Leonard has kindly just given me the technical book of what was put together to get this far in the process. And so I really salute all of that ongoing reflection, and I think how much this story has really catalyzed further discussion, further history. And so I think in this spirit of remembrance, of celebration, and anticipation of what I know will be still a long and challenging journey towards submission, UNESCO Black Belt or not, as one of the partners, I have no doubt that with the support of partners and everyone in this room, we will continue to deepen further our relationship between Canada, Ireland, between the communities of Valentia, and Kerry, between Newfoundland, Kerry and Valentia, the strong collaboration and indeed the friendship that this project really shows so much testimony to through the ties that continue to bind us together. So thank you again, and I'll pass over to you, Ambassador McKee, to hear from you.
Great to see you, Nancy, and great to work with you on this fantastic project as well. Slightly envious that you're over there, but we have a beautiful day here in Ottawa. Congratulations as well to everybody involved in the project. for the success yesterday, getting on the tentative list. It's an amazing achievement, and as Nancy rightly says, it's going to be a long road yet, very rigorous process. But I think it's an absolutely thrilling project. And I'm very privileged because as ambassador, I was able to get to the heart content side of things. So last April, when I was in Ireland, I went down to Valentia, Ireland, as I usually do, and passed by and took a wander around. And then in May, myself and the team went to Newfoundland. And we were able to go with the Minister for Tourism, who's a big supporter, Steve Crocker. We went over to the Heart Content Museum. We had an amazing visit and a great tour because they've been blessed with the existing equipment. And it really was an astonishingly complex operation. I had no idea that ultimately the signal that went from Valentia to the cable ended up as basically a flickering light, one side and the other of a white band, and you have guys in a darkened room decoding this. And then over the years, it became even a more complex operation. So they had all the machines there. The tour was absolutely fantastic and showed what could be done in a very kind of thrilling way. And so I want to thank everybody, the community at Heart's Content, and everybody who's looked after that museum for what they've been doing. We also had a reception with the people of Heart's Content. I'm picking up the theme of ethical remembering by, as Nancy has mentioned and Chris Marash's point. It was interesting that even to this day, there was still a memory of the discrimination against the locals because the employment all went to outsiders. The very good employment at the cable station went to the outsiders. And so there's a very rich social and economic history that accompanies this cable. The other thing is when I was in Newfoundland, I went to see the Basilica of St. John's, which is an absolutely stunning achievement by the Irish Catholic immigrant population in Newfoundland. At the time, the largest church in North America. It is still one of the largest. It's bigger than St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York. I think it's only number 2 to the Oratory in Montreal. Absolutely astonishing achievement, which in its construction was finished by Bishop Mulloch, a Limerick man actually, who went over to be Bishop of Newfoundland. And it was fascinating to learn from the local historian there, John Fitzgerald, that it was actually Mulloch who took Cyrus Field aside and convinced him to shift the destination of the cable from Nova Scotia to Newfoundland. So the reason why it goes to Newfoundland is exactly because there was a very strong Irish community in Newfoundland, led by Bishop Mulloch, who had the ear of the businessman and visionary who brought the cable into functioning reality. And again, the more you dig into this story, the more fascinating it is. And I'm still stunned at the technical achievements from the 1860s of taking a cable and laying it in one continuous run from Valentia to Newfoundland. And I think it really is a thrilling project. It generates great enthusiasm and excitement. It's a real platform for us to explore the relationship between Ireland and Canada, but also I think to revive the relationship between Ireland and Newfoundland, which is so strong, and there are so many different elements to it. And the connection between Ireland and Newfoundland is really very vibrant and very deep and very meaningful. So I'm really honored to be part of this. I wish you well in your discussions. Globalization really did begin with the cable. The crossing of the Atlantic is always one of the great global challenges. It was a challenge in the day of sail. It was a challenge in the day of steam. It was a challenge in the day when flight began. But it was technically a huge challenge to connect up telegraphs around the world and begin the era of globalization. The one point that really brings this home is that in 1865, when Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, I think it took between 2 and 3 weeks for Queen Victoria to get the news. Had he been assassinated the following year, she would have learned it in about an hour. And that sums up everything about the importance of that cable across the Atlantic for the 19th century, but also for the century that we live in too. So great to see everybody here. Congratulations on what you've achieved so far, and I look forward to working with you in the future and supporting the connections between Newfoundland and Kerry. Goramila Malagut.
So Eamon, thank you very much, and again, you've been a great supporter of us, and I know you participated in our event before, and you've been to Hearts Content, and I'm really jealous because I haven't been there yet. So thank you for that, and indeed, Nancy, again, thank you for all your support, and you've been a really fabulous supporter of us since you've arrived here in Ireland. So hopefully you'll have a very nice, a very long and successful ambassadorship when you're here in Ireland. So next, we're going to change gears now a little bit differently again. We're going to invite two young people from here in Valentia, to Muireann and Julia, if you'd like to join us here on our stage. And also, I'd like to welcome Taylor and Riley, who are with us in Hearts Content. And finally, then I'm going to invite Orla Snooker Carroll. Orla is going to be our moderator, and Orla is going to ask the hard questions. So, but there's no honours questions, I think. So we're going to be okay. And I'm going to ask Orla to introduce herself as well, because she's a very successful entrepreneur, doing something extraordinary on this island, using its assets. And I think it's a great role model of what can be done in these remote areas. So with that tee up, I'll hand over to you, Orla.
Thank you, Leonard. Thank you to everyone for such a great day, and to hear such great words from our amazing ambassadors. So don't worry, guys, we'll do just as good a job as they did, okay? We also have Junior here as well with us today. So, it's my absolute pleasure to be here. My name is Orla Snooker Carroll. Together with my wife, Anna, we started Valentia Island Vermouth. We started it it's exactly a year old this month. So so we've been on the shelf for 12 months. Within that 12 months, we won bronze in Blas-na-Héireann. We were in the Irish Times, in the Irish Independent, and the bottle was on the Late Late Show. We weren't yet, next time. We were named top 10 vermouths in the world by Falstaff magazine. And news, not kind of published yet, but we've just been won bronze in the International Wine and Spirits Awards. So we're, yeah. So, but I suppose I just want to say that we honestly couldn't do that without the support of this community. 100%. We always say in all of our kind of social media and in everything that we do, that the island is the #1 character in our story, and this place is just amazing. We got married here 4 years ago, and again, we're two girls getting married in a remote community. Again, the support that we got from everybody here has just been phenomenal. So I'm not getting emotional, I promise. But without further ado, we really want to hear from you guys, our amazing future of this beautiful island. So I have some notes here. Let me just check. So Muireann. Okay, first off, I'll tell you what. Why don't we introduce ourselves? So, Muireann, over to you.
Hello, my name is Muireann Lynch. I'm 17 and I'm living here on the island back in Chapeltown.
Hi, I'm Julia Cooper. I'm 18 and I'm also living here in Valentia. I live back in Chapeltown as well.
Hello, I'm Junior Kid. I'm 15 and I'm also living in Knightstown.
Fantastic, thank you. And are we also hearing from our people in Hearts Content?
I'm Taylor Hiscock. I'm 21 years old and I am living in Hearts Content.
Hi, my name is Riley Balson. I'm 25 years old. I'm living in Hearts Content.
Fantastic, thank you. Welcome to both of you as well. Okay, so, Muireann, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you hope to do in your career, and what steps you're taking at the moment to achieve those goals?
As I said, I'm living here on the island. I'm going into my last year of school now in September in Coláiste in Carsavine. I'm looking forward to that, kind of. I'm hoping to do something in the line of psychology or psychiatric nursing. And I'll be hoping to go to college after I do my Leaving Cert in maybe Cork or Galway, and to try and get a degree in something along the lines of psychology.
Thank you. in safe hands, I think, Maren. Junior, same for you.
Well, I'm hoping to play for Ireland one day, and I'm training with the club now and trying to get onto Munster for the under-17s.
Well done. Is that rugby? Very good, well done. We've got an exciting future for all of us, I suppose, so thank you. Taylor, same question for you. What do you hope your career to be?
I am also studying psychology. I am in my third year currently, and I look forward to completing my degree within the next couple of years and finding work in that in the future.
Great, thank you, Taylor. Okay, so Julia, where do you see yourself living? And do you see a future for yourself here in Valentia, or do you plan on travelling elsewhere?
Well, I'm really interested in traveling for a good few years after I go to college. Whatever I'll be doing there, I'm not too sure yet. But I love Valentia, I really do. But like as of right now, I can't see myself living here that much. There's just not a lot to offer, in my personal opinion. But I do love it here, and I'd love to like have a holiday home here in the future. But I just can't see myself living here.
Very good. Okay, thank you, Julia. So, Riley, what about Heart's Content? Do you see yourself living there, or do you plan to travel elsewhere?
No, absolutely. I can see myself staying here. The area that's around here has lots of ample opportunities for young people, for families, and being able to stay in this place that I've called home for the last 25 years would be a great opportunity for me. I'm currently a councillor for the town, so I have some input and some say into how we can move our community forward. And by doing that, I believe that we can further develop this community into something even greater than what it already is.
Great, thank you, Riley. So, Taylor, do you think that it matters where you live anymore because we've got so much access to technology?
In most cases nowadays, no, and this is coming from an online student for the past 2 years. Although I will eventually this September be moving out of my hometown to complete my studies, for the past 2 years I was able to get a very similar experience when it comes to making friends and getting my education right from the comfort of my own home. So that was fantastic for me, and a lot of people are actually able to get similar experiences with both their jobs and schooling from whatever location makes them happiest.
Great, thank you, Taylor. So, Maren, what do you think about living somewhere else with the technology that we have?
I think definitely in the last couple of years, everyone can see like the developments that have happened in terms of like working from home and everything. And I think definitely by the time we're working, it'll be much easier to live remotely and work to the same level as everyone else in cities, etc. So yeah, I think for us as well, we spent a lot of time doing online school, and we got so used to it, and I think everyone gets used to it so quickly, and it becomes almost the same, and it's just as easy, I think. Thank you.
And Junior, what do you think about the technology that connects us?
I think it's very handy now because you can just kind of connect to anyone no matter where they are, so it makes everything a lot easier to do online.
Great, perfect. Thank you so much, Junior. Okay, so Julia, you said that Valentia wouldn't be exactly the place for you these days or at the moment. If you were Taoiseach for the day, what would you do to change Valentia to make a more attractive place to be or to live?
I think we definitely need a few more socially and affordable housing for younger families to move here and live here. I just think it would really help just build a community and just bring younger people to grow up here so we'd have more people here.
That's a great point, Julia. Riley, same question for you. I know that you said you're part of the council, but if you were Prime Minister or President for the day, what would you do to make Heart's Content a more attractive place for people to be?
I would focus more on investment into the community, such as health transfers to the province to have better access to healthcare in the region. It's something that the province here is struggling with. Also something again along the lines of what Julia said about social housing, some more affordable housing in the area would be a better option to attract more younger families to the area.
Great, thank you, Riley. So that wraps up our questions for this afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. A huge round of applause to the future of Heart's Content in Valentia. Well done. Is there anything that anyone would like to say or to add before we go? Thank you. Yeah, very good. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, guys.
Oh, the town that climbs the mountain and looks upon the sea. At sleeping time or we again. Those kindly streets, the place my life began, where the boys of born ashore went hunting for the rand. With cudgels stout they roamed about to hunt the tree. We searched for birds in every forest, from litter to knee. We sang for joy beneath the sky, like hell, no prayer, no plan. And the boys of born ashore went hunting for the rand. And when the hills were bleeding and the rifles were aflame, to the rebel homes of Kerry the Saxon stranger came. But the men who dared the Aussies had to beat the black and tan, were the boys of born ashore who hunted for the rand. And here's a health to them tonight, the lads who laughed with me by the groves of Karim River, or the slopes of Beanatee, John Dolly and Barandi, the Sheehan's, Con and Dan, and the boys of born ashore who hunted for the rand. And now they toil on foreign soil, for they have gone away deep in the heart of London town, or over in Broadway. And I am left to sing their deeds and to praise them while I can. Those boys are born ashore who hunted for the rand. And when the wheel of life runs down and peace comes over me, oh, lay me down in that old town between the hills and sea. I'll take my sleep in those green fields, the place my life began, where the boys are born ashore went hunting for the rand. Was on one bright March morning, I did New Orleans adieu, and I took the road to Jackson Town, my fortune to renew. I cursed all foreign money, no credit could I gain, which filled me heart with a longing for the race of the Porsche train. I stepped on board a railroad car beneath the morning sun, and I rode the rocks to the evening, and it lay me down again. All strangers here, no friends to me, till the darkens warn me came, and I fell in love with a Creole girl by the base of the Porsche train. I said, my pretty Creole girl, the money here's no good, and if it weren't for the alligators, then I'd sleep out in the woods. You're welcome here, kind stranger. Our house is very plain, but we never turn a stranger out on the lips of the Porsche train. She took me to her mommy's house, and she treated me quite well. And the hair upon her shoulders in jet black ringlets fell, to try and paint her beauty. I'm sure it would be in vain. So handsome was my Creole girl by the lips of the Porsche train. And I asked her if she'd marry me. She said this could never be, for she had got a lover and he was far at sea. She said that she would wait for him, and true she will remain till he returns for his Creole girl by the lips of the Porsche train. So fare thee well, me bonny old girl, I'll never see you more, but I'll never forget your kindness at the cottage by the shore, and at each social gathering a flowing glass I'll raise, and I'll drink to a health of me Creole girl by the lips of the Porsche train.
As we gathered in the chapel here in Old Kilmainham Jail, I think about these last few days, and if they say we failed, but since our school days they have taught us we must yearn for liberty. And if I have you here with me. All together now. Oh, grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take me out at dawn and I will die. And with all my love I'll place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye. And I know it's hard for you, my love, to ever understand this love I have for these brave men and for this great island. And when Padre called me to his side down in the GPO, from my sick bed I had to leave, to him I had to go. Oh, Grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take us out at dawn and I will die. And with all my love I'll place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye. Next verse. Thank you, John. Now as the dawn is breaking and my heart is breaking too, on this grey morn as I walk out, my thoughts will be of you. And I'll write these words upon the wall so everyone will know that I have loved so much I've seen the blood upon the rose. Oh, Grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take us out at dawn and I will die. With all my love I'll place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye. Oh, there won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye. This guy's shown up yet. If you don't know, John Hallam, president of UCC, is going to come here and
I don't know. Well, Leonard and myself have a lot of fun together in other places. Well, the Lord upon high, who rules the sky, look down in our pubs and our bars. For the people therein, both women and men, are neglecting their pints and their jars. The crack, it is bad, the atmosphere sad, every man has a face like a mule. 'Cause every man, Jack, has a pain in his back and his arse in the air playing pool. When I was a boy, 'twas always me joy to visit the pub each night. There were arguments, scraps and killings perhaps, and everyone thought he was right. There were badgers and dogs and men from the bogs and young fellas acting the fool. But every man, Jack, had a pain in his back with his arse in the air playing pool. Now pool, you will find, is a game all designed for foolish illiterate louts. You put in 4 bob and you pull an old knob and a big shower of balls they come out. Place them on the table and then if you're able, you stick them all into a hole. More money goes in, you start over again and you lose every job of your dole. Bob of your dole.
Okay, John, you're hard. You're back next year. We'll book you. Okay, so looks like Hearts Content are good to go. So I'm going to hand over to Hearts Content. feel like we need a national anthem at this stage. Great. Well, thank you, Michael. So we think we can leave it there, folks. Thank you all very much. Thanks to Heart's Content. I could just say a special hello to Jerry Osmond's there on the other side. Jerry's been a great partner with us over the last couple of years. He works with the government there in Newfoundland. He's here quite recently, actually, with his family. So really looking forward to working with Jerry and his team now in the years ahead. We're done for here. Thank you all for coming along. Dinner starts at 8 o'clock this evening, nice and sharp. So you get plenty of time now to go home and get the goonas on. And we'll see you all back. We'll see you at 8. Oh, and of course the musicians sorry, how can I forget? How can I forget? A part from Dara. Thank you. Thank you, Dara. All right. Thank you, guys. And thank you. Thank you especially for bailing me out, Dara, by the way. So, okay, folks, we'll see you all back in the hotel. Thank you.